About you in this community, you've been very visible from the start. You've had to be, and very quickly you had a very visible appearance because we had the Super Bowl here. High profile, and very high level of security, required HPD to be ramped up very quickly, and then you had that challenge with the Jersey gate as well. I mean, you had a big game, and then and a lot of that had to do with security that HPD wasn't really responsible for, isn't that?
That's right. I mean, that was the frustrating thing for me, is that to find out the only area that we were not responsible for security are the locker rooms. NFL security handles that. And to find out that not only was it this jersey that was stolen, but they've had a series of incidents, really upset me, because it really put a little damper in what was otherwise a perfect Super Bowl. And quite frankly, you know, what concerned me is that if somebody can steal the winning quarterback's jersey, how did that happen? And, you know, NFL security, I don't know if you remember, I actually told them on a press conference that they need to step up their game.
Yeah, because everybody who was able to get security, to get credentialed to get inside, I mean, that was done by NFL. So from that point, a little hand slap.
Hey, you know, it is what it is.
But all's well that ends well, right?
That's right. He got his jersey back. We restored our faith. The Texas Rangers could stand down, and life moved on.
That's a good thing, because with Texas Rangers on the jersey, that takes them away from other things that they could be focusing on.
That's exactly right.
All right, let's talk about this big opportunity you had as an opportunity as far as the baseball. We may have a chance to have baseball security here. If the Astros keep playing, we may have some postseason baseball. You got to be secure.
Best record in baseball.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Really good.
The bad news for you is that you don't have to worry about being called out of the bullpen. I saw this on the mound here. What was this all about? You had a shot there to make a big impression.
That was a Phil Niekro knuckleball right there.
Is that what that was?
It got away from me, but I got it over. I got it to the plate, and I didn't try to pitch it, because that's the mistake you make, and I want to one-hop it.
Well, most people don't get that opportunity. You nervous?
Oh, Lord. No, I was really excited, though. I felt like Christmas came early. It was very cool to do.
That's good to see you out there. Another way for you to get out in front of the people there. Let's talk a little bit more before we let you go here about some of the things. The reason that you exist is for crime, stopping crime, getting the bad guys, and we've had a chance to see that up close. We cover it all the time, as you well know. Our own Joel Eisenbaum did a report on some of the highest crime areas and talked about some of those areas. Club Creek area in our region, one of the highest crime areas. You deal with that a lot. What are the challenges in damping down on those high crime areas? How do you go about trying to make that happen?
Well, first we have to focus on what matters most, and that's violent crime and people breaking into our homes. And so that's one of the reasons that myself, Mayor Turner, we were all very supportive of the marijuana program that the DA talked about, because we have very limited resources. So we have to really focus on the worst of the worst, one. Two, we have to make sure that every cog of the criminal justice system is doing their share. So I want to be paying attention to, and I communicate with the DA on a regular basis. We go to breakfast on a regular basis, making sure that we focus on people that are doing harm to our community, especially violent crime and people breaking into homes, and that those people aren't getting a slap on the wrist, and next thing you know, they're out, you know, right away, and two of my officers get shot by somebody that arguably should have been in prison still. I want to make sure that the bad actors, when we identify them, that we're not dealing with them 2 or 3 years later because they're getting a slap on the wrist. And so we're going to pay attention. And quite frankly, we're going to be the eyes and ears for this community, because they need to know when people are giving away the store in terms of accountability.
And we'll talk more about some of the difficulties in doing that when you have the staff that you have as well. But when you arrest people and you try to give them the non-slap on the wrist, are you counting upon the word on the street as well as every other kind of word going out there to people who might be wanting to commit crimes, that, you know, this is not going to be a walk in the park for you?
No, and we're making sure that I'm sending a message, especially to our hardcore gangsters, that we're going to start working with our federal partners, the Department of Justice. As a matter of fact, the Department of Justice has a new edict that is requiring the U.S. attorneys to work with local law enforcement, since violent crime is starting to creep up in a lot of big cities, to go after the worst of the worst. And quite frankly, if you're going to start using guns and firearms in the commission of a felony, you can rest assured there's a good chance you might get some mandatory sentences in the federal system.
Let's talk about some of the challenges with doing that when you have a revenue cap in place. I know you and the mayor are in lockstep on that. Typically, you don't see police chiefs as active politically but you've been outspoken about the need to get this thing removed, and how does that impact you?
Well, I mean, when you look at our police department, I go and I talk to our community. By the way, I only weigh in on political issues that impact public safety. The CAP impacts public safety. SB 4 impacts public safety. You know, pension reform impacts public safety. When you explain to people that we are a city that's one of the fastest growing, if not the fastest growing big city in the country, then you compare us to Chicago, where they're up to close to 13,000 police officers, and we're down to 5,100 police officers. We've seen a growth of 500,000 residents in Houston in about a 20-year period. Despite that growth, we are down several hundred officers from during that same time frame. It's eye-opening. People get it. People don't want small government. They don't want big government. They want properly resourced and efficient government, and we can't do that without property cap relief.
What's the challenge of convincing citizens that it's important to do that, and knowing that that may mean their property taxes are going to go up and the trade-off is something worth it?
I think that you have to educate people on how much money it will cost per individual household. I mean, what we can do collectively as residents of this city. If we take whatever the amount is, let's say hypothetically it's $100. I'd rather spend that $100, give it back to the city, where when you put it all together, we can have a heck of an impact on the services we provide, than to take it back with me that, you know, 2 strips of Starbucks and it's gone, yeah. Right? So, you know, I don't want to make it too simple, but the truth of the matter is, people, when they call 911, they want the police to get there tomorrow, or I mean right away, not tomorrow, or the tree falls, or whatever the issue. They want a response, and that costs money.
Well, I thank you for always being accessible for me, and I know you like to do that for Houstonians as well. If they want to get in contact with you, what's the best way?
They can contact me at the office at 713-308-1600, or they can write me at art.acevedo@houstonpolice.org.
And I'm going to make sure I put that on my Facebook and my ClickToHouston.com website. Thank you, sir.
Great.
Always good to have
you.
you.
Yes, sir. Thanks for what you do.
We'll see you next time.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you, sir. You too. It's a great day for all of us. Hey, coming up next, after this break,